is that she said some very disrespectful stuff. All right, so I'm not a lip reader, but it looked like right here she says effing white girls. Oh man, effing trash, effing white girls. Effing trash right there, effing white girls. That's what it looks like. All right, now.
Did say that in response to being fouled out, which it looks like she did. If she did say effing white girl, trash, all of this stuff, like if that's what she said, then yeah, I mean, to me, that further backs up the claim that a lot of these women in the WNBA, they don't like Caitlin Clark. And
from the looks of it, I have to say, man, it does look a little derogatory. All right, it looks a little crazy. Okay, and yeah, you can be in the heat of the moment and things like that. I heard the wildest.
That, to be honest with you, the WNBA, I think they're low-key kind of leaning into this because let's be real. And I said this the other night, right? When I was talking to some friends, I said, well, we already have a superior product to the WNBA, right? The NBA is better than the WNBA, right?
Yo, did Brittney Griner really just say that on camera? Like, no hesitation, no filter. Straight up venom that live in front of every mic and camera in the building. In a league built on unity and uplifting women, Griner just lobbed a verbal grenade with the smoothness of a veteran who's tired of holding back. And let's be real, like it didn't sound like she was throwing competitive shade. This wasn't lighthearted, it wasn't subtle, it was personal. Clip that, run it back. Fans caught it instantly. The Reddit threads exploding. One user literally typed, "Yo." Did she just call Caitlin that on camera? Another said, "She went 0 to villain arc in under 5 seconds." And the quote, already memeified, already viral, already iconic, for all the wrong reasons. Now here's where it gets spicy. The WNBA has been desperately trying to package this season as the future of women's sports. Sellout arenas, ESPN deals, courtside celebs. It's all about the glow up. But then one of your league's biggest stars steps up to the mic and drops that? People aren't ready to hear this, but if this had been any other player, especially someone new to the league, suspension talks would have started yesterday. But it's Brittney Griner, the face of survival, the icon of advocacy, the symbol of strength. And that's exactly why this clip is triggering a low-key identity crisis for the league. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. What do you do when your hero becomes the villain in the very story you're trying to sell? The mic caught it, the fans heard it, and the silence from the league? That's loud too. So is the W gonna actually do something, or are we just gonna pretend that Mike wasn't on? Because if this was Caitlin Clark firing shots like that, you already know the fines would have dropped before she hit the locker room. And this is only the beginning. They said she was the most hyped rookie in WNBA history. And honestly, they were right. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the league. She broke into it like a cultural wrecking ball, NCSEA record breaker, Logo 3 specialist, a fan base that rolls deeper than some NBA teams. She didn't just dominate college hoops. She redefined what visibility looks like in women's basketball. Overnight, every WNBA headline turned into a Caitlin Clark mention, whether she was in the clip or not. You post a block by Aja Wilson, comments, but could Caitlin guard that? A steal by Jewel Lloyd? What would Clark do here? It's become a whole genre of content, not basketball highlights, but Caitlin Clark reactions to basketball highlights. And that level of media obsession, it's not just hype anymore. It's heat, it's pressure, and most importantly, it's target practice. Because now, every player in the league knows exactly what comes with checking Caitlin Clark. You're not just playing defense, you're entering the Caitlin cinematic universe. One shove, you're viral. One quote, you're trending, and the players have responded. We've seen the body checks, the shoulder bumps, the offhand swipes, and welcome to the league fouls that somehow never get called. Let's not act brand new. Some of these vets are testing her. Some with intent, some with attitude, and some with straight up resentment. Now let's toss Brittney Griner into that storm. One of the W's biggest names. A comeback queen with nothing to prove and everything to protect. You've got the league's most watched rookie and the league's most powerful enforcer in the same storyline. This wasn't gonna end in high fives. This was always gonna explode. It happened fast. Too fast for PR teams to clean it up. Too loud for the league to ignore. Brittney Griner, fresh off a game, standing in front of cameras with the kind of posture that says, I know exactly what I'm doing. And then, boom, she's gotta learn this ain't Iowa, we don't. Hand out crowns for cute shots out here. No hesitation, no smile, no playful tone, just cold delivery, like she was reading off a scouting report written in shade and experience. Let's run that back. Slow it down, zoom in, no wink, no sarcasm, just straight chest. And Twitter. Oh, Twitter exploded. Did she stutter? Memes. She basically called her a TikTok baller. Reddit threads broke down every syllable like it was the Zapper Dairy. Film. Was it subtle shade? Maybe. But that quote felt more like a statement of authority, a declaration from a veteran who's seen it all, and isn't about to roll out the red carpet for a rookie with a highlights reel and a Nike deal. Cause let's be real, in the land of professional sports, we all know microphones are just imaginary, right? Except they're not, especially not in the WNBA right now, where every word can spark a headline, every glare can fuel a debate, and every comment is instantly weaponized. So now we have to ask, was this just elite level trash talk? Or did Brittney Griner just step over the invisible line from welcome to the league to straight up character assassination? Either way, the league heard it, and Caitlin Clark, she definitely heard it too. Brittney Griner isn't just another player. She is the WNBA #1 pick, NCAA phenom, two-time Olympic gold medalist, a walking highlight reel of blocks, dunks, and dominance. Oh, and let's not forget, she survived detainment in Russia, came back stronger, and became a global symbol for resilience. She's not just battle-tested. She's battle-scarred, but don't get it twisted. Griner's always played with an edge, the kind that leaves bruises, starts beef, and refuses to be polite about it. Remember the 2019 brawl with the Wings? The stare downs, the technicals, the post-game quotes that always hit just a little too hard? Griner has never been the smile and wave face of the league. She's the body check you on the way to the logo type. Her resume, 9X All-Star. Career averages of 17 points, 7 rebounds, nearly 2 blocks a game, a championship ring. She's not just relevant, she's the foundation. So here's the tension. Is this leadership and reminding the next generation that hype doesn't mean hierarchy? Or is it insecurity? An icon watching the spotlight shift to someone half her age and 10 times more viral. Because when the Brittney Griner starts throwing verbal elbows at Caitlin Clark, you have to ask, is this about protecting the league or protecting her legacy? And if that legacy includes taking shots at the most hyped rookie since Diana Taurasi, then maybe we're watching the moment where icon status starts to slip into instigator territory. Let's be real. If Caitlin Clark had said anything close to what Brittney Griner just did, this wouldn't be a slow news cycle. It'd be a 5-alarm fire. Imagine it, a white rookie fresh out of college throwing shade at a black WNBA vet with a gold medal and a global story. Think the league would stay quiet? Think Twitter wouldn't be on fire? Think ESPN wouldn't have a full panel dissecting every syllable? Yeah. That part. This isn't just about trash talk, it's about double standards. Who gets punished, who gets protected, and who the WNBA is willing to ride for when the headlines get ugly. Because let's not kid ourselves, the WNBA is in a PR tug of war. They need Caitlin Clark's fan base, the viral highlights, the record-breaking jersey sales, the sold-out arenas, but they also don't want to alienate their OGs, the veterans who built the league when nobody was watching. So now they're stuck. Silent, watching the storm from the sidelines while fans ask, wait, no fine, no statement, no accountability. Funny how fast the league moved when other players made questionable comments in the past. Quick press releases, public apologies, even suspensions. But now, crickets. Because here's the uncomfortable truth, the WNBA loves what Caitlin Clark brings to the table, but not the chaos that comes with it, and as long as the league keeps playing favorites while pretending everything's just competition, that silence, it's louder than anything Brittney Griner said. Caitlin Clark could have snapped back, could have clapped back, could have gone scorched earth, but instead, she said nothing. No tweet, no interview quote, no sassy IG story with a Taylor Swift lyric. Just that same icy composure we've seen since day one. And that silence, it was louder than any mic drop. Because here's what people forget. When you're that hyped, that watched, every word becomes a headline. Every look becomes a meme. So Clark's team, media trained to the bone, knows the power of doing nothing and letting the internet do the heavy lifting. And oh, the internet delivered. Twitter turned Griner's quote into a full-blown roast session. Reddit threads turned into dissertations. Fan pages made TikToks breaking down every facial twitch from Caitlyn like it was game tape. But while some fans praised her for taking the high road, others weren't buying it. Why won't she stand up for herself? Is she playing the victim to protect her brand? Girl, say something, because silence might be strategic, but it can also feel hollow. Especially when the league's most talked about player keeps letting others speak for her and against her. So now the clock's ticking. How long can Caitlyn Clark play the unbothered icon before the narrative flips, before silence starts? Sounding like submission because in the WNBA, the spotlight doesn't wait. It exposes trash talk or workplace harassment. That's the million-dollar question, and the WNBA's sitting on its hands like it's scared to answer it. Because when Brittney Griner shaded Caitlyn Clark on a hot mic, it wasn't just a spicy soundbite. It was a challenge to the league's boundaries. What counts as competition, and what crosses the line? Now imagine the roles were reversed. If Clark threw that kind of shade at a black veteran, you think the league would still be radio silent? Nah. Statements would be flying, fines would be handed out, and ESPN would have held a town hall. But here, crickets. So what's the move? Should the WNBA step in, set a standard, or are they playing chess, letting the drama drive clicks and engagement like it's a reality show? Because let's be honest, the NBA's been here before. Draymond Green, Pat Bev, the league lets them talk crazy, but there's always a line. Cross it, you're suspended, fined, publicly checked. The WNBA, it wants the smoke and the sponsorships. It wants to sell out arenas without selling out its stars. But here's the problem. Silence is a decision, and right now, it looks like the league only speaks up when the PR script is safe. So what happens next? Because if this is how Caitlyn Clark's rookie season starts, what happens when the playoffs hit? Caitlyn Clark could have snapped back, could have clapped back, could have gone scorched earth, but instead, she said nothing, no tweet, no interview quote, no sassy IG story with a Taylor Swift lyric. Just that same icy composure we've seen since day one. And that silence, it was louder than any mic drop, because here's what people forget. When you're that hyped, that watched, every word becomes a headline, every look becomes a meme. So Clark's team, media trained to the bone, knows the power of doing nothing and letting the internet do the heavy lifting. And oh, the internet delivered. Not Twitter turned Griner's quote into a full-blown roast session. Reddit threads turned into dissertations. Fan pages made TikToks breaking down every facial twitch from Caitlyn like it was game tape. But while some fans praised her for taking the high road, others weren't buying it. Why won't she stand up for herself? Is she playing the victim to protect her brand? Girl, say something! Because silence might be strategic, but it can also feel hollow. Especially when the league's most talked about player keeps letting others speak for her and against her. So now the clock's ticking. How long can Caitlyn Clark play the unbothered icon before the narrative flips, before silence starts? Sounding like submission? Because in the WNBA, the spotlight doesn't wait. It exposes. The mic was on. And now, so are we. Because this moment, this one clip, this one comment, it cracked something open. This isn't just about Brittney Griner and Caitlyn Clark. It's about what happens when hype meets history. But when silence gets louder than sound bites, and when every handshake line feels like a battlefield, the WNBA isn't just going viral, it's evolving, under pressure, in public, with every pixel magnified. And let's be real, not everyone's ready for what that spotlight exposes, so we'll ask the question again. Did Griner cross a line, or just say what everyone else was thinking? Should the league step in, or is this the fire the game needs? And what about Clark? Does she keep taking hits and letting her jumper do the talking? Or is it finally time to clap back? Drop your take in the comments. And if you're here For the real story behind the highlights, go ahead and like, sub, and smash that bell. Because in this league, the mic is always on. And trust, we're listening.